doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you, Mr. Alex, the Northern Man?
Mr. I'm glad I have a name and a title now. Mr. Timmy, how are you?
I'm not so bad, thanks. How are you?
I'm terrible. Awful.
That's all part of living in the North, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, it's constantly raining. It's grey.
Yeah.
Are we enjoying fireworks?
We just recorded a Podmas and a big firework went off and I got scared like a dog. So I went to a fireworks show on Friday and it was really good. But after that, I think I'm done with them. If everyone could stop using them because I've had my fill, that'd be great.
A lot of the local councils don't do them anymore, so it's only little people in the backyards a lot, isn't it now?
Little people in the backyard, Alex, it's a disability. Are you enjoying fireworks, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, when we were doing those recordings just now, out my window to the right there, I could just see the odd firework going up. I had the window open, and at one point, I saw the green box flash around my camera. I was like, cool. Discord's picking that up.
Couldn't hear it, so.
No, I didn't hear it.
Tim, are you enjoying them?
I can't say I've seen much of them around here.
Oh.
Yeah. Some of them
Are
just
they
something very
allergic to
bright or
flames?
fun.
Too much sea where you are.
Oh, yeah.
The oil rig that you record on.
There was a... Yeah. There was meant to be a fireworks show in Weston a couple of years ago, and they were going to launch the fireworks off a boat, but the boat got too wet, so they just didn't do it. It's like, do you know what the boat is on?
How does a boat get too wet?
I really like those videos you see when there's like really big, extravagant firework displays, but they accidentally let them all off at the start.
Well, do you remember was it New Year's in San Diego a few years ago? There was supposed to be a 15-minute fireworks show, and I guess due to a problem, every single firework went off at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's amazing.
But, like, no one is going to remember a 15-minute fireworks show, but everyone is going to remember the night that the sky exploded.
Yeah.
The day the Blitz came.
Yeah, all in 1 second.
Alex, I'm going to show you.
God, that must have
I'm
been
going to
deafening.
send it to you now. I don't know how fun this will be on recording, but there you
That's
go.
fine, I'll edit it out.
You don't need
It's-
to edit it out. It's
Is this
absolutely
San Diego one?
incredible. Yeah.
Video was unavailable.
Oh, I'm watching it. I'll just share my screen.
Oh no, it's okay, I've got it now.
1 minute later.
Jesus.
I've just opened it to this.
Loud and up close.
We might need to trim this down in the edit.
I
Look,
mean,
we've all
the pixel's not going to take very long, is it?
we've all released a little early.
That was long. That was
Longer than this game will be.
impressive.
As always, we're going to ask a fun little question beforehand, just to get the old grey matter a bit more grey. Joey, Tim,
Yeah.
I'm not an inventive person, so I've asked ChatGPT for a question. If you could instantly become an expert at something, what would you choose?
Ooh,
Any skill on earth, instantly, bam, you can do it.
Probably just coding.
such a flipping nerd.
But like, if you become an expert at like just all code, A, that's jobs for life, and B, you can make anything you want.
Rizmaster 5000.
Yeah,
You could create this sentient AI that takes over your job.
yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Oh no, my own petard. I've been hoisted by it.
I would become an expert in the crypto market. Because then I could be filthy freaking rich.
You just have to buy stupid-looking apes,
Yeah, exactly.
and then go to a concert or something and get your eyes suntanned.
But there's a ball pool, so it's okay.
Don't flip and do it. It's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time, that's what we've heard.
Unless you're an expert.
Well, yeah.
Alex, do you want
Ah.
to do a spoiler warning for the game we're doing?
Yeah, sure, why not? Guys, this episode of the Game Club Pod is going to include spoilers for McPixel 3. Good luck.
Wee! I do like the music there.
have been playing McPixel 3, and we're here to tell you all about the deep intricacies of the story. This game will take you thousands of hours, and we're here to trim it down for you and hopefully make it just a little bit more digestible. So, for those who have been living under a rock and aren't aware of the saga of McPixel 3, it is a single-player puzzle video game developed by, and I'm going to try and not butcher this name, Mikolaj Sozowski Kaminsky, and produced by our friends at Devolver Digital. At launch in November 2022, it was available on various PC things, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, MS-DOS for some reason, Switch, and from the looks of it, the Xbox One, X, and S. Followed in March 2023 by a release for the PS4 and the PS5. And a few months later, in June 2023, it came out on iOS and Android. Let's go to initial thoughts. Why not with Tim?
I like the presentation of this game, but in terms of gameplay, it's everything I hate about point-and-click adventure games. I did not have fun. Those are my thoughts.
That's a glowing review, Joey.
This was like WarioWare if it wasn't on Nintendo. It was random. It was very easy to pick up. I don't agree with Tim that it's... Well, I'd like to hear more about his woes with point-and-click, but it didn't even feel like a point-and-click adventure to me. It felt like exactly what it was, miniature scenarios. It felt like miniature scenarios being played out on repeat until you worked out how to save yourself in every single situation. I did not complete it. I played an hour and a half of it and thought, I think I've probably got enough here, because it was an hour and a half of the same thing over and over again. Quite literally. It was presented well. The music was good. I'm really looking forward to how you explain the story, Alex. But, you know, it was okay.
It was a series of mini games patched together in a sort of... I don't know if they were trying to go for some sort of overarching story or not, but let's go into the story. The quote-unquote story. For some reason, you start the game by eating a bomb. Yeah. You then have to piece the bomb back together in your own stomach so that you can it out and explode. You then land in a city where the game takes place. And you basically wander around and find different locations where you will go into one of the quote-unquote levels, where it is, as Joey said, it's a series of mini-games that you have to keep repeating until you find the win scenario. You're presented with, whatever the scenario might be, you're presented with multiple things that you can interact with. You can combine interactions, and they'll all produce these different outcomes. And you just have to find the winning outcome. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason behind anything that's going on. The whole thing felt a bit like a fever dream, to be honest with you.
It did.
And that is the story.
Well, the whole objective, as Joey mentioned, in each of the mini games is to save yourself, to not die, and that's a very clear objective. But I know Joey's interested in my thoughts at why I don't like point-and-click adventure games, and by extension why I don't like this. My problem with point-and-click adventure games is a lot of them seem to boil down to, hey, try this object on this thing, and now 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 this thing. Oh, good, that thing worked. Now try this object on this thing, and now this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing. Ad nauseum. This game was that. Now, granted, there was a really weird reward system in this game where it rewarded you for losing by seeing more of the animations, therefore earning you more money to unlock more levels. Really strange system, and it's unique. I'll give it that, but this was just nonsense to me. And I get that the game is going for nonsense, but it feels like it would fit right in with the lol so random humor people.
Well, that is exactly it. It is lol so random. Although, I mean, I did have favourite moments.
Sure.
I did think it was quite funny how every interaction you could have with humans just boiled down to kicking them.
Yeah.
Kicking them in the bollocks. Yeah.
So much so that the mouse, when you go over them, turns into a shoe. Thought that was quite good.
Is that what it was? I thought it was a door.
No, it's a shoe because you're
Oh.
kicking them.
That makes sense.
I didn't understand what was going on a lot of the time, but I thought that was okay. What we haven't done is address the fact that we said in the last episode that we'd be playing Dragon Age, and McPixel is not Dragon Age.
Is it not?
Pretty indistinguishable.
Ah.
Yeah, I remember the bit where I carted some boxes up to a roof so a helicopter could fly them away and then made love to a CEO the floor below, but only for the building to explode in Dragon Age.
I just didn't get to the expansion.
Yeah, so to Joey's point, we decided on this game yesterday, the day before.
Yeah, 2 days ago at the time of recording.
This was a very quick decision because the necessary time hasn't been put in for Dragon Age, and it's Dragon Age being as it is not something you want to just rush play for 5 hours and then try and do in an episode. It deserves the time. It needs time. So instead, I don't know who decided. Was it you, Joey?
Yes,
I think Joey just scrolled through his Steam library, stopped at a point, and then just went that one, and we ended up on McPixel.
It was because it was part of Humble Bundle this month.
Ah, so it's relevant.
Yeah,
even though this episode releases in a couple of months.
Later this month. In a couple of weeks, but Humble Bundle will have changed by then.
Yeah. So if you want to get this game, go and buy it 2 weeks ago on Humble Bundle,
or do what I did on CD keys for 49p.
It's also on Game Pass, so
it's also on GOG for $1.69, and you can get it on the Android and Apple Store for about £3. None of us played it on mobile, but this game could very, very easily play on mobile. I think it's a point and click game. It's tapping the screen. You'd be fine on mobile.
Yeah.
I actually think it would be optimal for mobile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will give this game big credit for, and more point and click games should definitely take note of this. Middle click to see all the things you can interact with. Yes. Big fan. Thank you.
Yeah.
This game is very reminiscent of the old, like you'd go on Newgrounds and stuff like that in the early 2000s, and you'd find these point and click games, like point and click adventure games. They had that same, by design of what Java was at the time, you could just press tab and it'd highlight all the clickables. Whether or not that was an intentional design that this developer has gone for or a happy accident, who knows, but it was very reminiscent of those games.
Yeah, I agree.
It's interesting this to me because I played McPixel 1 when it came out when I was at university, and I enjoyed it then, and I don't know if it's just me becoming a cynical old man, but I just didn't enjoy this one anywhere near as much. And I should have done. It's more of the same, but I don't know. It just wasn't there for me.
Well, the McPixel trilogy is available on Steam. You'd be interested to hear that the McPixel trilogy consists of McPixel 1 and McPixel 3, but not McPixel 2.
That seems very on brand for the McPixel series.
I'm not sure why.
So I actually looked at this a little bit, and it is entirely an on-brand thing. The joke is there was meant to be a McPixel 2, but it was so overdeveloped that Devolver Digital, quote-unquote, cancelled it. None of this is true. This is the story that they've made up in the background. So this is a trilogy with 2 games. I watched it just before recording. They released a announcement documentary a couple of days before the release of McPixel 3 that was called The Unmaking of McPixel 2. So there was never a McPixel 2 game, but they wanted to do something mental.
Wasn't it Spaceballs? One of the movies was called Spaceballs 3, The Search for the Second One, or something like that.
I don't know. That sounds really fun.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds right for the one in the Spaceballs movies. I'm sure Josh could correct me on that if I'm wrong.
Josh, the amazing, beautiful Josh from Talking Smack.
Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
That's it.
It's good.
It's
good. I am looking at the developer of McPixel, and they have 4 games. McPixel 3, McPixel 1, Super Pig X, which I don't understand what that is. Probably the hardest game you'll ever play, a pitch black platformer where you only see the world through dying and your blood splatters. And then they have a VR game called Mosh Pit Simulator.
I like to think that when you put the VR headset on, people just come to your house and just beat the shit out of you. It's like, oh, it's so real.
But looking at the trailer for it, it's just loads of mannequins being thrown against a wall. You create weapons for a mosh pit, so it's not actually a mosh pit.
Oh,
Strange.
that's strange.
Strange developer.
Yeah. I like the presentation of this game, though. I like simplistic pixel art, and clearly the very deadpan faces, due to the limited pixels they could use for the characters, were they added to the humor, and the music was cool.
The music was cool, although I tried. Did you guys work out how to turn it down in the
Yes.
menus? That took me about 10 minutes.
Bad menu design.
I
Funny
just
that.
turned it down on the Windows system tray, I'll be honest with you.
All right.
So you had
Smart.
to go onto the options menu, which in and of itself was a bit of a pain in the ass to find.
Yeah.
And then you had your visual options, which were like your various filters, your resolution, your aspect ratio. But then there's no audio options until you press the down arrow, and then you get your audio options. And you can't divide sound effects and music. It's only master volume or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's not done on a slider. It's done on 10 button presses.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not great menu design, but I feel like that was a very intentional decision for this
An
game.
on-brand, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, what was your favourite McPixel moment?
I mean,
have
the one
two.
the one that stuck out to me was the campfire one, where the solution. So the situation for you is you're in a forest and there's a campfire, so no real danger anyway. There's a man cooking sausages and there's a stick of dynamite on the floor. To stop the dynamite from exploding and killing you, you have to rip a branch off a tree, fan the flames of the fire so the fire gets really, really big, burns the man, try to kick the man in the mouth. He will catch your foot in his mouth and then beat you over the dynamite stick, thus putting out the fuse. It certainly was memorable.
And on that same level, there's a series of events you can do where you piss the fire out.
Well,
Yes.
pissing on stuff was a bit of a theme. One of my
Yes.
favourite moments was there was a race car that had a bomb on the bottom of it that wasn't active, and you could complete the race, but when you cross the finish line, the bomb explodes. Or you could cut out the need to do the race by opening the car door, pissing into the car, which would set the bomb off, and it would immediately kill you.
The solution to that one was just to give the car keys to the driver. The objective is that you don't die, not him.
Exactly. The other one I really liked is because they're all quite long, drawn-out ones, but there is one where you have about a second before a bus just hits you, and you just have to move McPixel back.
See, that's really reminiscent of the first game. The first game, all the mini games are 5 seconds long.
Really?
Yeah, and these ones, they range from a second on the bus to like a minute sometimes.
Yeah. There was one where you were in a helicopter in the first level that I remember, where you were in a helicopter, everyone was unconscious apart from a guy who jumped out with a parachute, and you had to throw a shovel out, beat up the other guy that was there and throw him out, then jump out of the plane, then catch the guy with the parachute and hit him using the other guy that was unconscious that you'd thrown out of the plane. And then because you'd thrown the shovel out, you'd landed on a desert island, and then you had to dig your way out of the desert island, and you ended up in Japan.
Yep.
That was it.
And that was your win state.
Yeah. That was memorable.
Yeah. What about you, Alex?
Mine's linked to one of the achievements that popped up from Steam. There was one where you went to the video game arcade and you were playing one of the games, and you could pee on a guy. And it was great because a little achievement popped up at the bottom that said, "I peed your pants."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that tickled me.
I hated that section with the other because they did
God,
it in
yeah.
like reminiscent of the graphics of other video game systems, but the pixel art is already very simplistic.
Mm.
Yeah.
So when you try and do that on like a Game Boy screen, it all just got a bit impossible to see what was going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one was a Game Boy Color, and one was I think one was meant to be an NES or something because it was the
Yeah.
Zelda knockoff.
Well, the Zelda knockoff one had you like take some branches to make a boat or something, and I don't know what I did to get that, but I just remember seeing, oh, my character, my McPixel appears to be carrying something. I guess I'll throw it in the water, and that was the end of the
Well,
level.
you rip off the roof of a hut or something, don't you?
It's something like that. I don't know what I did.
It's incredibly convoluted. I do think it's convoluted in the way that it's very intentionally convoluted. There's no over design here.
No, far from it.
Stupid. Oh, what if we did this to do this to do this to do this? And I think the game is presented in a way that they are short bursts, so it doesn't matter that you have to replay it over and over and over. Seeing the same explosion quite a lot, though, does get a little bit tedious.
Yeah.
One thing I will say with this game is, obviously, you're replaying things a lot. You're replaying the same level 5, 6, 7 times until you find the win scenario. You can press a button that skips any cutscene you've already seen, which I think more video games need.
That's good. What I didn't understand is the very first level, you were on a train and you had to stop the runaway train. But there was a toilet in there that if you did it, he just stuck his head down, looked into the toilet, and it got onto the tracks, and I never understood the point in it. I dropped a fish onto the tracks at one point.
Yeah. It's just a red herring.
Well, the fish was quite literally a red herring.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably the fucking joke.
Oh
It
my
is the
god.
joke, Tim.
That's totally the joke. Oh,
That went so far over my head.
yeah, mine too until right now.
Oh, McPixel lives on in all of our memories forever.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything to say, or is this just going to be one of those games?
It's going to be one of those, I think.
I don't
I
think
want
there's
to
much
say.
more to say, is there?
No.
I'm getting the score sheet.
No. Yeah, let's
Well, no, Alex. Do you know what there is to say?
go on.
The technical specs of McPixel. This game could run on a calculator.
Oh yeah.
It's 300 meg in size. It needs 500 meg of RAM, which is nothing. It requires Windows 7 at a minimum. So, and the processor, its minimum spec is a Pentium 4 processor. So
it'll run on anything.
it will run on anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of obvious when you look at it, but yeah, I thought it was worth saying. For accessibility, this game is mega accessible.
If you have a smart fridge and you want something to do while you're deciding dinner, load McPixel 3 onto your smart fridge and have a great time.
There you go.
Good.
But yeah, let's go on to scores. Let's start with Joey.
I don't think I can recommend this game because I didn't know what it was. I didn't really get the objective. I guess if you were drinking with friends, this would be quite a good one. If you like a point and click adventure while you drink with friends, you know, that very specific scenario.
Very broad demographic.
It's really hard to say because, as you can tell, we've been recording for 24 minutes, and that doesn't count anything Alex has cut out. 24 minutes, and I feel a bit like we've covered everything we need to cover with McPixel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, whilst I'm not disappointed I played it, I can't recommend it. And I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10.
Okay. I'm curious. Well, I've actually got the Steam scores up for this game, but I want to get to those. I think you guys will be surprised.
I won't, because I'm on the Steam page now.
Oh, okay.
I've also got it in my notes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to give this game a 4 out of 10. As I've said, the presentation is good. Everything else I kind of hated, and it's the amalgamation of everything I don't like in the genre I like the least. So I think 4 is probably fine for that.
Are you saying to Alex, thanks, you hated it?
Thanks, I hated it. Oh,
I didn't
wink,
pick
wink,
this game, so
nudge,
don't blame
nudge.
me.
No one
Ooh,
knows.
foreshadowing.
No one knows yet. Cool. Alex, your thoughts?
Yeah, it like I say, it was very reminiscent of the old Flash games from the the early days of things like Newgrounds. So if that's your kind of vibe in a video game, go for it. I personally do not think I will be going back to this game. I think gonna go with a 4 because I'm looking at the score sheet here. I gave My Friendly Neighborhood a 4.5, and I think that had a bit more to it than McPixel. It's all right for half an hour if you're bored and want to switch your brain off, but after that, you need to be asking yourself what you're doing.
Mm.
Can I read you a review that's on Steam
You can.
by someone called Peremptor, who has 818 reviews, and at the time of review, they had played this for 6 minutes.
Thought you were going to say you had 818 hours in the
Yeah,
game.
that's what I thought.
He had six minutes in the game, and I think this sums it up better than anything we've said. It's another bunch of adventures that show how effective body secretions can be in all matter of situations.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, no matter your problem, on it.
Yeah.
Basically.
But that gives us an average score of 4.16 recurring.
McPixel, if you buy it full price, is £8.50.
Not worth that. No way.
No.
It's probably worth the 49p I paid on CD keys.
Good.
Let's quickly talk about online ratings for it before we disappear.
Yeah, Steam has it down for a 10 out of 10.
Oh, God, does it really?
It's overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Absolutely not.
Mm.
And I looked at the Metacritic for it. The Metacritic has a 75% on it. The problem I was having was I was looking at the people who'd left reviews on it and did not recognize a single name. There was no Game Informer wasn't there, PC Gamer, whoever, IGN wasn't on there. There was no one of reputable on there. It just looked like random people.
Yeah.
Here's another review for you.
Mm-hmm.
McPixel is the game every 9-year-old wishes they could make, using the talent of an insane full-grown adult. If you don't like this game, you're probably actively working to make your parents proud of you.
Not no.
Mm.
Good. Well, I think that about wraps up our thoughts. Anything else for McPixel Gang?
No,
Not for
I don't think so.
McPixel, no.
No?
Tim, have you still
No.
got the score sheet up?
Yeah.
Am I next?
Yes.
This guy? Shall I do the announcement for this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Join us in 2 weeks' time. And when I say join us, I mean just me. But it's not just me. I'm joined by one other human. He's lovely, and he's the host of Casting Views, where the lovely Dan and I will be playing the cozy game Callisto Protocol.
Join us then.
Cozy's a word.
Or join Joey then, rather, I should say.
Yeah, join
And
me
Dan.
then. And lovely Dan. He is
I
lovely.
love it then. Very kissable.
Very
That will
kissable.
be
We've
the-
said that a few times.
And that will
Good.
be the second episode of Podmas.
Yay!
Merry Podmas.
No pressure.
Merry Chrysler, everyone.
Merry Chrysler.
Very good.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. See you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Mwah. Bye. Mwah. Bye.
I'm keeping all that in.
Yeah, you should, but you meant to stop it while we're still saying it. So, Tim, keep going again. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Bye.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.